Hey guys, welcome back. This is Leslie Lenz. So today we're going to talk about the iPhone 15, which is yet to be released in the next less than 2 months. Here are just some of the rumors that has been said, especially from reputable sources and some that have been repeated over time, and what people would like to see in the next iPhone 15. So one of them, of course, is the battery. It is said that it's going to have a better and bigger battery, bigger than what is already in the iPhone 14 lineup, the iPhone 14, the iPhone 14 Pro, Pro Max, and the iPhone 14 Plus. So this is something that is going to help iPhone a lot and iPhone users, because for a long time iPhone has been bashed severally by other phones, especially the Android ecosystem, for their batteries depleting every time. The charging is also going to be better. The wireless charging is going to be much faster, and it's going to support higher watts compared to what is there in the iPhone 14 right now. Another thing is the USB-C. This is something that has been talked about for a long time, a long time. Many iPhone users will tell you that they would rather have an USB-C than the usual Thunderbolt. Finally, Apple might bow down to this, especially after the EU restrictions that is going to take place in autumn 2024. Since there is no iPhone that is to be produced after the iPhone 15 before 2024 autumn, then the changes are most likely going to take place on this iPhone 15. And this is something very incredible, because now Apple users are going to enjoy a wide variety of chargers and also data transfer across other devices. This is a change that many people have been looking forward to, and it is not to be underestimated, because I have a very strong feeling that many Android users are going to jump ship and come over to the Apple ecosystem just because of this one major change. So in as much as Apple were reluctant to change these, it might actually work up to their own advantage, and that will be very interesting, because finally the people who have been saying that, oh, Apple does not want to change, Apple always maintains their own ecosystem and want to sell their own expensive product, finally this is going to happen. Another thing is thinner bezels, the all general appearance of the phone. Over time, Apple has been trying to keep up with other smartphone companies, especially Samsung. Samsung usually has very thin bezels, and considering their glass is always curved towards the end, they have very thinner bezels, close to none. And this is where Apple has been failing to some people, because some other critics have said that this is a disadvantage, and it is one reason that they would rather buy a Samsung, a flagship Samsung, the S20 series, than buy an iPhone because of this. At least finally now iPhone is going to have thinner bezels, and in the iPhone 14 they had a much more thinner bezels compared to the iPhone 13, and this will be an upgrade, which is also expected, because at the end of the day we want to see an improvement in not just the specs inside the software but also outwards. So at least that is one change that we're going to see so far. Another major change is about the cameras. From reliable sources, they've said that they're going to have bigger camera bumps, which is of course expected, considering we're going to have much bigger sensors. And it's also rumored that we're going to have up to 10x zoom. I'm not so sure about that, and from what I've seen, Apple is going to utilize the telescope technique to achieve the same, which is going to take up a lot of space in the camera bump, making it even much bigger than the iPhone 14. So what does this mean to the general phone? It means that it will be much bigger, because they're also going to improve the battery. So it's going to be much bigger, it's going to be thicker, and it's going to be heavier than the iPhone 14. This is also going to be quite a disadvantage to other people, because some people like thinner phones, and when you bring them an upgrade and it's thicker and heavier, then this is something that they're not going to take, especially on the Pro and on the Pro Max. I believe it's going to maintain the 48 megapixel on the main camera, and the two cameras are going to also maintain the 12 megapixel. We know that Apple usually doesn't make any major upgrades in their megapixel, except when they did the same on the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Pro Max. So we are not going to expect the same, especially this year, because they took almost 10 years to make an upgrade on the same, from the 12 megapixel to the 48 megapixel. Yeah, We're going to see vibrant colors as usual, better camera quality and video, better stabilizer on video, and cinematic mode is also going to be better. I'm sure the new chip, if they're going to use any new chip, it's going to upgrade all this. Again, the colors. So talking about the colors, we know Apple has been trying to be vibrant enough. When they unveil any new phones, any new lineup, they're always trying to come up with better colors and much brighter colors. So this year we have seen product red, but it's not really a product red because it's more of a brownish color from most leaks that have come out, which I'm not sure about, because even last year there were some rumors about the iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max, but later on the colors did not seem right. So we are yet to confirm the same. There is also a green, a brighter green, which will be quite interesting and also an amazing one, because the only green that they've released was when they released iPhone 13, and it was a deeper green. It was not anything bright at all. So we're going to see that, and I don't know if they're going to have any silver or white, which is quite normal on the iPhones, or any space gray on the same. I've also seen a purple color, which was the big selling point on the iPhone 14 Pro Max. So maybe they're also going to maintain the same. Generally, the outlook is also a little bit curved and not as edgy as we had seen in the iPhone 14 lineup. So that's something that many people are saying it was uncomfortable on their hands, considering that nowadays the iPhones are huge and quite heavy. So it was uncomfortable. This is something that I believe they're going to change, as we have also seen on these specs. From the leaks also, I've not seen any iPhone 15 mini, which Apple discontinued in the iPhone 13. I'm not expecting the same in the iPhone 15, and we're going to expect an iPhone 15 Plus as they did release in the iPhone 14. I'm not so sure if this was well received, but since they did that in the iPhone 14, it is highly unlikely that they're going to discontinue the same, especially after just one release. So this is something that we're also going to expect. Either way, these are some of the rumors that we have received so far, that I've seen and I've gone through. They are from reliable sources in the internet, and there are high chances that these are some of the specs that are going to appear in the yet to be released, the iPhone 15 Pro and iPhone 15, generally the iPhone 15 lineup. So in case of any updates, I will be here to show you and to tell you. I didn't dive deep into the specifics, especially on the chips that are going to be there and the smaller details that have also leaked out, because I don't want to bore you with so much details that maybe you won't pay attention to. So if you've reached this far, kindly leave a like if you liked the video, and also if you didn't like the video, you can just click the like button, and also subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.